Hi YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and this is Outsiders, and today's DM's Tips is all about letting yourself go as a DM. We've hinted at this for quite some time now, and I think this is the video to really unleash that. Do you know, the best thing you can do as a DM is to stretch yourself. I call it, and you've probably heard it before in some of my videos, it's about an envelope. They often use it in aeronautical flying. A pilot will tell you, a test pilot will tell you that he will push the envelope of the plane to find out what it can do. There's always a risk when you push the envelope because, of course, that plane can stall. That plane can crash and burn. So this is where the real skill comes in. This is where you start to find out about yourself as a DM. You've got to do it. The most important thing is not to stay in your comfort zone. We've just recently hinted about this in another video that I did for Wolf about, changing your play styles and that sort of thing. But this is the video I really want to hint at this and really go for it more. Test yourself, push yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Really, really actively go after those mistakes. Do you know why? Because you can't, until you've pushed the envelope to that point where it breaks down, you can't learn from it about you as a person. And that's why these mistakes are so important. That's actually why they're so critical to your development as a DM. You can't become a good DM unless campaigns fail. This is going to sound really odd advice, but take this as absolute gospel. This is critical. If you just maintain the same approach all the time, it's the old maxim, isn't it? You always get the same answers. But by pushing and stretching and attacking and continually changing your stance, the way you play, the way you DM, the way you feel about the game, you ultimately create a situation where players realise, bloody hell, you're gold dust. The DM we've got is amazing. That's amazing because you've not been afraid to fail. Some of the best talking points you'll ever get as a DM are from the things that happen in games. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. I don't think there's any really good or bad things. I think they're all memories, aren't they, really? And those memories are the thing that you leave behind for your players. And it's a great way of looking at things if you think about it, because many players will come into your group over a long period of time, and I do hope that a number of you will continue to DM indefinitely. I mean, that's the way I've looked at it. It's not something I propose on giving up. I don't care if I become the grizzled old grey man of the group. I really don't. It's something that I love and I thoroughly enjoy. And I look at the greats, I look at the people that come before, and I think to myself, I want to be as good and better than them. And you cannot get there unless you want to stretch the envelope, unless you want to push yourself. Yeah, putting voices on taught me something about myself. The way that I describe things taught me something about myself. Maybe the fact that I stretched the RPGing out, the actual roleplay too much or too little. It all teaches you something if you've a mind to accept those challenges and push the envelope. Every DM's envelope is going to be different than the next. And every DM's envelope can be pushed to such a degree that it can massively, fundamentally change you as a DM. Now, this is going to sound like very odd advice, and I realise and appreciate that this is probably one of the most difficult and one of the most controversial videos I've done so far. But trust me, please, please believe me when I say to you that you cannot become great without failure. That the very, very best cannot reach the summit without some knockbacks, without some failures, without losing a few people on the attempt. It has to be done, because that is what makes great DMs, and that is what you will find out about yourselves as a DM, that the only way you can become great is to make mistakes. And that's what's so exciting, because when you're new to the hobby, often the question I get is, I'm still new, I'm making mistakes. God, you're lucky. You're so lucky. Making those mistakes is great because you're learning from it. When you reach a point like me and some of the other DMs out there, you have pushed your envelope, you've been continually pushing it, and it becomes so difficult to find areas where it breaks down easily for you because you have all the core skills. And that's not to say we're infallible. We are infallible. Sorry, I probably phrased that wrong twice. But we are infallible, and therefore, we will make mistakes, but they might be minor things. as a DM now, when you reach a certain point, you're looking to actually really, really fundamentally break down things to a degree, I think, as an experienced DM, where you can really push yourself. And that's what makes being so new at the hobby very exciting, and you're very, very lucky. When you've been involved for a long period of time, you think about the reverse on that. How do you continue to keep challenging people? How do you continue to keep challenging yourself? And what brings you back into the hobby? And that's why making mistakes makes you ultimately good, and makes you ultimately the best that you can be. Maybe, who knows, that some of you might become great because of what you've achieved. And DMing has taught me that. And in life it's taught me that the only way that I can become really good at something is to be determined, is to put my effort into it, is to continue to stretch the envelope and be the best that I can be. Anyway, I've been Sean Connors. This has been Stretching the Envelope, another DM's Tips program. Happy gaming, take care of yourselves, and we'll catch up with you later on in the week. I probably won't be putting any videos out tomorrow because I've got my Tomb of Curses videos going online, but I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thanks again, guys, from a dreary UK in the height of summer. Take care of yourselves until the next time. Bye bye.